And another thing on my rhyme, right? I was just thinking this shit. I want to put it out there because I want to get y'all perspective on this and shit. And if y'all see it the way I see it, or if you see it differently, let me know you see it differently. So, as y'all know, Snoop got Deathrow back, right? He got Deathrow Records back in 2020. Yeah, I think during COVID time, Snoop bought Deathrow Records back. A record label that he helped build and put on the map, right? So it was only right. We was all like, okay, cool, you know what I'm saying? At least it's back in the hands of a nigga and not some random white person owning the work of black artists and shit. So we congratulated Snoop for that, all right? So, you know, moving along and shit, it's 6 years later, and are y'all are y'all happy, or are y'all cheering and applauding, or y'all satisfied with you seeing what Snoop has done with Deathrow up until this point? He's had it for 6 years. Can y'all name one memorable moment that Deathrow did? Can you name one classic album that's came out since Snoop been having Deathrow under his possession, under his watch? Can you name anything spectacular that Deathrow's done in this last 5-6 years since Snoop been the CEO of Deathrow Records? You know what I'm saying? And I say that to say this, right? We've seen now it's been 6 years Snoop had it. And then we seen, I don't even think Suge had it for 6 years. I think Deathrow came out in 91. And shit, they pretty much peaked in 96. But what I say that basically, I'm making the comparison of Snoop Dogg status as a CEO and Suge Knight status as a CEO, right? And it's not even close. I'm gonna keep it real, you know what I'm saying? I don't agree with the way Suge was doing shit when he had Deathrow. Allegedly, I wasn't there, but the stories that they put out there that I heard, whatever. But it's kind of like, I'm starting to get to the point where I'm like, man, maybe the Suge Knight way was the right way, because Suge Knight was getting results like a motherfucker, regardless of how he was going about doing it. Albums was coming out, legends was being made, classic albums was being made. It was motion on the West Coast. Suge Knight was putting niggas on from the LA, Southern California area. It was major motion, you know what I'm saying? Suge was pushing his weight around in the industry versus what Snoop Dogg is doing. I just feel like, you know, overall, you know, Snoop, he cool, he a legend, you know. He honestly is as far as famous, he's the most famous rapper in hip hop. Ain't nobody more famous than Snoop Dogg. I don't give a fuck what part of the continent of the country you go to. They know motherfucking Snoop Dogg, right? So that's not even up for debate. This motherfucking conversation is about who is the better CEO. And to me, Suge Knight's reign as CEO versus Snoop Dogg's reign as CEO, I'm gonna have to get out to Suge, man. I'm damn near ready to say Suge Knight was the best CEO on the West Coast out of everybody, period. From the back in the day era to the now era, you know what I'm saying? What Suge did in that little bit amount of time, we just talking about the music. I ain't talking about how he was having motherfuckers drink piss and doing all that treacherous shit that he was doing. Suge Knight reign as CEO.